Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Al-Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and of honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the Hakim teaching his word, thought the four corners, and true sincerity. I'm back with another lesson. This one, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Al-Shai, will be edifying us to the elect. All right, this is going to be a quick lesson, straight to the point. The topic is going into, spiritual power. All right, spiritual power is on the way. Okay, and I was meditating about how spiritual power is going to be needed. All right, not only, for our own self-defense, but to, take down our enemies, to take down, Esau, Edom. And to judge our own people too. All right, because they gonna be our enemies as well. All right, because these, 2/3 of our people have to get put to death. All right. Before I continue the lesson, the true name of God is Yahweh, which means he is or he exists. In the name of his son, who the world calls Jesus, it's not his name, it's Yahweh Shai. All right, the son of God, his name is Yahweh Shai, which means he saves or he delivers. And Yahweh is going to send Yahweh Shai to deliver the elect across the four corners of the earth. Okay? But before they truly get beamed up, certain events must take place on the earth. Prophecy, the mark of the beast. Okay, Jacob's trouble, which we see happening, now today. All right, World War III. Are certain things that must come to pass because it's a prophecy. All right, and persecution, because there's gonna be some men, right, that's gonna get spiritual power, but it's some that's not gonna get spiritual power. But when that power comes, all right, it's gonna be needed to defend ourselves and to put Jake to death. All right, should say in Jeremiah 51 and 6. Not Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 20. No, actually, not this one, Sloggy. That's a good one, too. Jeremiah 16 and 16. That's Jeremiah 15 and 16. Jeremiah 16 and 16 says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers." So right now, at this very moment, before we get the, the true power, all right, we're acting as fishers, fishing, for the elect, okay? How we doing that? By preaching, by teaching the word, basically casting the net, via the internet, via, all right, uploading lessons like, I'm doing now, making these lessons, fishing for the elect, and those that receive, and those that don't, but surely the elect, all right, will return to Yahweh Shai Shai, because this is what it's for. It says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord Yahweh." All right, so right now we're fishing, right? "And they shall fish them, and afterward will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, and out of the holes of the rock." So, a spiritual power is going to be needed, all right, to judge our enemies, all right, to hunt. Who, starting with the elites, Edomites, okay? All right, to put them to death, to judge them, okay, to hunt. All right, our people gonna be part of that too. That they don't want to take heed to Yahweh Shai Shai. Okay, and they had ample, amount to. All right, but that's just one side of the coin. All right, also because Esau mainly, all right, because that's gonna be the main reason of us getting powers to defend ourselves. Because Esau, Edom is gonna, roll down on us. Okay, according to 2nd Ezra 16 and 70. Well, 70, it says, "For there shall be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." Great insurrection is a uprising against, all right, us, the men of Yahweh Shai Shai. It says, and what's the reason going to be for that? Because we're not going to be the ones that's going to, bow down, to his image, to his way of life, all right, to this revised Roman, system, all right. It says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none." That's exactly how he's going to be, all right, because, he's done being Mr. Nice Guy, all right, so now he's just going to be, putting shit to death, all right, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So, again, we're going to be exiled of society because we're not going to take the MOTB. We're not going to be down to take the MOTB. All right, whatever the case may be, whether we're, pilgrims on the run, which is, basically being a pilgrim, being on the run. That's what we signed up for. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire, right? So it's ultimately going to be a trial of our faith. And once we come out victorious, some brothers are going to, be granted spiritual power. Right when your head is, in the midst of the guillotine, when that chain is coming down, it just breaks, and you just feel warlike energy, all right, come upon you, which is the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, and he go put his anger upon you to judge these heathens, to judge Esau, Edom, and to judge them troops. All right, it says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide." So, we know these things are coming to pass, but it's ultimately, again, a trial of our faith to see where our faith is at, pushing it to the edge, because the Lord got to see what we really about. All right, the Lord, put Thor's different tests our way, and it's not gonna stop. It's only going to increase when shit hit the fan. All right, but we will be doing very miraculous, things such as, running fast, flying. Brothers may get power to, throw fireballs at their hands. All right, to call fire down from heaven, to not only that, but to heal as well. All right, it's not only going to be just destruction. Brothers will need to, heal. They may have a flock, a little, sheep that's following them, people that's seen the works, and they believed when they saw it. Scripture say that in the day of thy power, that people that shall be willing. All right, they're gonna need to heal them, whether they're injured, they may be Salakia. They may be pestilence that's gonna be out. They may need to heal them. All right, so be prepared, because even Yahweh told us, in a sense, to be prepared when he said in John 14 and 12, it says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I shall do, he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father." So the reason we're going to be able to do these certain works, because we believe that Yahushua did it, so, and we know Yahushua did it. We believe Yahushua did it. And we're going to do the same things, but even greater. All right, because again, this is all hell breaking loose. This is, this is the end. All right, when it's in the downfall of our enemy, the last time of us being in captivity, so we're finna go out with a major, bang, and the Lord's gonna have to show his power and glory through his men. All right, that's why it says the Lord's gonna lift up a standard. We're not lifting up a standard. The Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai is gonna be lifting up that standard in that time for us. All right, in Isaiah 59 and 19, it says, "So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood." So Esau's gonna come in like a flood. When it says he comes in like a flood, it's him coming with his, martial law troops, breaking down our doors, hunting for us, looking for us. All right, whatever that day may be, maybe fucking on a random ass Tuesday, or random ass Thursday. Who knows? All right, because we don't know. A random ass Tuesday at 3 a.m., 5 a.m., you in deep sleep. He just comes through, bust the door down, you just wake up out of sleep. But it says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. So even though he may think he has the element of surprise, because that's how this devil works. All right, he just does it when you're sleeping. He does it when you least expect it. He's expected to. So when he does what he has to do, or thinks what he's gonna do, he's gonna do what he has to do. The Lord's gonna lift up a standard. All right, just imagine it. Your door gets bust down. You just hear like boom, FBI, or ICE, whoever it may be. All right, put your hands up. All right, wake up. All right, let's go. Whatever the case may be. All right, because they're gonna be yelling this shit. They're gonna try to rough us up. All right, pop guns pointing at us. But the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai will lift up, a standard. Okay, and when you go into that word, standard, in Isaiah 59:19, just to get it right quick, it is to mean to put to flight, to flee, to escape. So you may be able to teleport, fly away, It says the fleet escaped to take flight. Fly away, depart, disappear. You could just disappear. I had a dream like that, a vision like that, a couple years back. I was basically in bed. I was sleeping in bed. Just a quick, just talking about it. I was sleeping in bed, and then somebody, troop busted through the door. I knew it was a troop because I seen the ski mask, I seen the bulletproof vest, I seen the gun. Right, and the thing, it was aimed right at me, and it was still looking around the room. It was aimed right at me, and the guy said, nobody's here. And then, through his through that earpiece, like, nobody's here, and they just left. I was like, and the dream ended. So, these things that we believe, can and will happen, to certain of us, can happen to me. We don't know, but we expect, a miracle, or if, we expect, to endure unto the end. Okay, it's just to put the flight. So we may cause, power, we get spiritual power to cost, we may be, Salaki, I'm stuttering. But we may have it where, we have the power to, airbend, we control the elements, we, cause the troops to get put to flight. All right, it's just the cause to disappear. So we may have it that we cause this nigga to disappear. We just, all right, disappear the nigga. All right, or hide. All right, so you see, it says to fly to that attack. It's to drive at, to take flight. So, it says a bait, a way he be displayed, to flee, to put to flight, hide, lift up a standard. So, we expect a standard to be lifted for the many Yabashim Shai, because we've been, diligent. Scripture say, how can you be saved? By your faith and your works. So we show our faith through our works by, making these lessons and going out and being charitable and sacrificing, for Yabashim Shai. Yes, we fall short, but we just gotta keep on going straight. Because one thing is guaranteed of you being consistent. All right, we can't control, and this may be a whole other topic in itself. We cannot control, all right, keeping the law 100%. That's just something we just can't. We in captivity. We in the most wickedest society. The food we don't know what's in the food. For hell, we know it could be pork in the water. All right, so the things that we eat we can't control, but the thing that we can control is, going, doing what's in our capability. Keep rehearsing the righteous acts. Going to camp, making these lessons. These are the things that shows the Lord that we care. All right, also in the kingdom, then we're gonna have it, completely perfected. All right, not changing the topic, just putting that, out there. All right, but tying it back into the topic, we just ready to, put belt to ass. Lord willing, I get spiritual power. All right, if that may be my lot of getting spiritual power, because we don't know who could get spiritual power the same way how we don't know. All right, who's part of the elect, we don't know. All right, but we hopeful. All right, we put on as the elect. But this Job 5:19 says he shall deliver thee in six troubles. So in the midst of, all hell breaking loose, the Jacob's trouble. All right, yeah, in the 7 there shall no evil touch thee. That 7 representing, the complete, the destruction which are gonna come from, them nukes. All right, it says in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in the war from the power of the sword. So from famine we're gonna be fed. All right, may be a point where we don't even need to eat. It says in war from the power of the sword. So what's going to deliver us from the power of the sword? Right? It has to be some type of divine intervention, whether it be spiritual power or your guardian angels with you. All right, because Scripture say the angel encampeth around those that fear the Lord. If you paraphrasing, all right, it says so. Don't never ever think that you're alone. All right, it says thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. Then shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. Then shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So that has to be even in that has to be some type of power from Yabashim Shai. Seeing all hell breaking loose and we just laughing. At that and rejoicing. All right. It says for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So here you go, be in the league with the stones of the field. All right, that's basically the avatar. You're controlling the elements. You're controlling the earth, the air, fire, water, blood bending. All right, everything, metal. All right, being in league with the stones of the field. And it says the beast of the field shall be at peace with thee. All right, you know, because there's going to be a lot of animals out. Because, you know, the reason they're hiding because, you know, you have civilians, you have cars, you know, things making a lot of noise. But when things start to quiet down, you go see animals popping up. Snakes and alligators and bears and lions and cheetahs, like in that movie. What was the movie? I forgot the movie. Yeah, Will Smith. It was basically a pestilence, and he was the only one in the city. All right, and he seen, I believe in the movie, he seen was it a lion? I believe he seen a lion. All right, and they left him alone. All right, they didn't do nothing to him. Same thing could be with us. You may see a lion, and he just nod his head saying Shalom. All right, and that's also gonna be the Lord causing that to happen. All right. You know, but with that, let's say if I don't give our praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Shah, Bashim, Makakadash, and the bonus to the apostles, the Untrue Millstone, and Shalom to the Agim teaching, Dr. Four Corners, and show sincerity. Shalom.